Sports.
We are Fox Sports. We are St. Louis.
This is St. Louis Cardinals baseball. Tonight, game number 1 of a 3-game series. All 3 games on Fox Sports Midwest. The St. Louis Cardinals and the Cincinnati Reds. Jim Hayes is here. That's the Cardinals Hall of Famer, Jim Edmonds. I'm Dan McLaughlin. And welcome to the broadcast booth here at the Great American Ballpark. Jimmy, we get to see a Major League debut tonight. Daniel Ponce de Leon. It is a great story that we'll talk about throughout the telecast. Horrific injury about 14 months ago, so a big night for him.
Yeah, excited. I always love to see these first games up, and he had a chance to be up here earlier in the year, didn't get a chance to pitch, so this is a big day for this young man. You can see his record down there, 9-3 in AAA with a 2.15 ERA and 103 strikeouts already, so he's got good stuff. It'll be interesting to see what he does at this level.
PCL All-Star Daniel Ponce de Leon getting the start tonight. Had the chance to visit with the Cardinals president of baseball operations earlier today. His scouting report on Daniel Ponce de Leon. Fastball, slider, changeup, velocity 94-96 with his debut. You may see him get a little bit higher than that with all the emotion of tonight, how excited he may be, and he must get ahead of hitters. Matt Carpenter leads this offense into Cincinnati, the hottest hitter right now in baseball, and the National League Player of the Week. Baseball is coming up. Budweiser. Wherever legendary MLB moments happen, Budweiser will be there. And by Chevrolet, the #1 selling brand in the St. Louis area. Find yours at your Mid-America Chevy dealer. The banks of the Ohio, the Great American Ballpark. It's another Central Division battle. It's game 1. The Cardinals, the Reds, next. American Ballpark here in Cincinnati. Along with Jim Edmonds, I'm Dan McLaughlin. Jim Hayes is with us as well. The first of 3 begins tonight for Mike Schilt and the Cardinals. Cardinals dropped 3 of 5. That 5-game series with the Chicago Cubs. So the Cardinals are 8.5 games back in the Central. They've actually dropped now to 4th place as the Pittsburgh Pirates are red hot. They swept Cincinnati over the weekend. They've won 9 straight. The Cardinals, by the way, 4.5 out of the wild card. Big series, every one of them now very important for the Cardinals.
You're definitely right about that. And what also makes them big series is the farther you get back, the more important each game is to try and catch up, because playing catch up when you're not playing against that team makes it awful hard, because there's always another team in the way of slowing you down. So these games start to get bigger and bigger and bigger the farther you drop in the standings.
Matt Carpenter has been a red hot. 6-game home run streak ended yesterday, but consider this: he's 12 for his last 24. 8 of those 12 hits have been home runs, and he's driven in 12 in the last 7 games. No hotter hitter in baseball. Carpenter at the top, then Molina and DeYoung, Marcell Ozuna, Jose Martinez, Tommy Pham. He also has been very hot in this lineup. Dexter Fowler, another start. Greg Garcia, and the pitcher making his debut, batting 9th, Daniel Ponce de Leon. The first pitch from Luis Castillo is taken for a ball, and we are underway. The season numbers on Castillo: start number 21, and he's 5-8. 77 degrees our game time temperature. This is already the 4th start this year for Castillo against the Cardinals. His Hyundai pitch arsenal: he's 0-2. He's given up 10 runs in 16 innings against St. Louis.
If I'm not mistaken, I think that Carp led off with a home run against him the last time that they faced each other.
You are correct. 2 balls and 1 strike. Carpenter now at 25 home runs. 2-2. If he's got that going, a good fastball and a changeup, it could be a long night for Cardinal hitters.
Yeah, he's got that sneaky, explosive fastball with a pretty good changeup. So you're right. It's just got just enough velocity where you gotta respect it.
Going outside, 3-2. Seems like we say that every at bat with Matt Carpenter.
3-2.
3-2.
3-2.
Shift on the right side of the infield, and Carpenter is swinging a miss. Arquilla drive to success. Yadier Molina this season against the Reds. 13 games, 3 home runs, and he's driven in 16. Against every other team in the Central Division. Molina hitting 200, but he loves that Reds pitching here in 2018. What do you think about Molina in the 2nd spot in the lineup?
I like it so far. I think that it's a good opportunity for a professional hitter to be able to hit behind a guy, a leadoff hitter. I think you look at Carp hitting a lot of doubles. Yadi can hit the ball the other way there too, move him over. He knows that, Mike Schilt knows that Yadi's not afraid to give himself up. He's financially set with his contract and at where he's at in this career. So he's not going to worry about driving guys in, moving guys over, and doing the little things.
And a fly ball lifted to Billy Hamilton. 2 away.
I think there's something to be said to that, about that too. At certain stages in your career where you're okay with giving up at bats over and over and over for the sake of the team. It's hard to do for young players.
Take a look at the Reds defensively tonight. Around the Horn, presented by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. Duvall, Hamilton, and Winker in the outfield. Suarez, Peraza, Dixon, and Votto on the infield. And the Gold Glove winner from a year ago, Tucker Barnhart, behind the plate. A strike to Paul DeYoung. He had a couple of balls over the weekend at Wrigley. He absolutely crushed. And you know this, when the wind is blowing in or a crosswind, there's just nothing you can do about it. Any other day, it's a home run.
Yeah, those are the worst days for you as especially a fly ball hitter. I've lost a few of those myself, and you know it does even out eventually, but you're just, as a visitor, you just take your chances, and sometimes you got to hit one a little bit lower. And
there's a fly ball out to deep right field, but Winker has enough room on the track to make the catch. So the Cardinals go 1-2-3. A major league debut, Daniel Ponce de Leon, when we come back. Memphis, the PCL, tied for second in wins, winning percentage second. A lot of strikeouts, 103. Last year on May 9th, he was hit on the head by a line drive. He underwent emergency brain surgery, was in the ICU in the hospital. So this is about 14 months ago. And you talk about guts to get back on the mound, and not only get back on the mound, but have success. Congratulations, Daniel Ponce de Leon, on making it to the big leagues.
100%. I mean, you saw his numbers earlier, 9-3 with a 2.15. I mean, yeah, you're right. Coming back to pitch, let alone pitch with success and not be gun shy, and now finally getting a chance to pitch at the big league level is something special. And be interesting to see how he handles it tonight.
He gets a good lineup to face: Peraza, Dixon, and Votto. Then Suarez, Winker, Barnhart, Duvall, 12th in the league in RBI, Castillo, and the switch hitting Billy Hamilton batting 9th. So again, Jim Riggleman using the pitcher batting 8th. The first pitch by Ponce de Leon is a strike, and he's in the big leagues. He's got the protective gear under the cap, Kevlar. There's a fly ball into right center, and the catch is made. That's Dexter Fowler for the first out, and Daniel Ponce de Leon now has his first out in the big leagues. But thank goodness it wasn't a collision with Pham and Fowler.
It's a tough spot right there. It's kind of right in the middle. Both guys are pretty shallow here. And I think usually the center fielder takes charge, but I think that Dexter Fowler a little bit closer on that. I always just wonder if one guy's got a louder voice than the other, and if you can't, like, for me, there was no one louder in the outfield, so I didn't have to worry about it. But sometimes you can't hear the right fielder. It's scary.
Well, you can understand if they didn't hear each other with this massive crowd that we have here tonight.
What do you say? All the people are dressed up as seats?
A lot of folks disguised as seats tonight. This is Brandon Dixon, a third-round pick by the Dodgers in 2013. Acquired from LA with Peraza and Schebler. That was the three-team trade that sent Todd Frazier to the White Sox back in 2015. Back on June 16th, hit his only home run in the big leagues, and it happened to come on his dad's birthday. What a present for Pop. Three balls and one strike. The key for Ponce de Leon: throw strikes, average nearly 5 walks per 9. But he's got very good stuff. Fouled back, 3-2. And that leads us to our Toyota key to the game. Pitch ahead in the count.
You said it already, so there it is. I mean,
throw strikes.
You're right on the money. But you're right. It's especially today. Today is like get off to a good start. Get rolling a little bit. Get comfortable. After this first inning, I'm sure he'll get his little bit of a rhythm going.
And a fly ball to left. Ozuna racing over, and a sliding catch. Replace your divot.
That's a big one right there too. But back to Daniel, I just think that once you get through this first inning, I think you can go take a breath and see this play right here by Ozuna. Nice little play, a little last minute slide. And see if it sticks a little bit.
Those could be dangerous too, where your knee gets stuck in that grass. You probably have had that happen multiple times.
Try not to slide on my knees too often, because it does. It happens a lot. Dig in. And it really can stop you and jam the heck out of your knee and your hip.
0-1 pitch to Joey Votto is a ground ball, slowly hit right side, taken there by Garcia. What a story. Daniel Ponce de Leon in the big leagues in a scoreless inning. You can stream games live on your mobile device. Download the Fox Sports Go app, log in, and stream the Cardinals. Marcell Ozuna, Jose Martinez, and Tommy Pham for the Cardinals. Top of the second, and there's no score. Marcell Ozuna leads the club in hits with 98. So you like that. But he only has 20 extra base hits of the 98.
I was going to say, just think if he was hot. He's only hit 265. How many hits he would have and where he would be.
What do you see with his swing as you watch day in and day out?
It's really hard because I don't know a lot about his swing in the past. I know what I've seen on video, and I know talking to him a lot that he kind of got in between a lot. Guys were pitching him in early in the year and got him to pull off. And I felt like he pulled the bat through the zone a little bit because his hips were flying open. Seems to think that he's adjusted to that, but still see a little bit of inconsistency with him getting his foot down on time and really staying through the ball. And I think, and I talk about this all year long, there's something about being pitched inside a lot, especially right-handers versus right-handed pitching. It just has you start to look for the ball in a different location. You don't see the ball coming out of the pitcher's hand as much. You start looking for a spot. You start pulling off a little bit, and it just really opens up the outer half and takes you completely away from the breaking ball.
And that's where he was a year ago, taking the ball to right field with power. Didn't pull off a lot of pitches.
And just really the key to that would be to start taking the ball inside and giving those pitches, even if they're strikes, giving them up and really just trying to stay down the middle. I try to explain to a lot of young hitters too is they can't throw the ball in the same spot 3 times, not even at the big league level. So if you take a strike inside, the chances of them being able to go back in there for good strikes are not very high, and you just got to stay with it.
And a fly ball into center, backing up Hamilton, and he makes the catch. Take a look at our Kubota power stats. Jose Martinez this season at the Great American Ballpark. How about these numbers? 13 for 26, 4 home runs, 4 doubles. He's knocked in 12 this year at the Great American Ballpark. Not too shabby.
It would have been tough for me to hold him out of the lineup in Chicago and here. I know he didn't get a lot of playing time in Chicago, but kind of surprised me a little bit. But then consistency is going to be the key for this team going down the road, and there's going to be guys that are going to have to sit. And so that was him for Chicago. Maybe he saw the numbers here in this ballpark and had to mix things up. And obviously Colton Wong not being in the lineup makes it a little different too.
As Jim told folks at home on the pregame show, Mike Schilt addressed the situation that Colton Wong is on the DL with left knee irritation, inflammation, and so that's the spot that Ponce de Leon takes tonight. Cardinals don't anticipate, by the way, that he would miss much time.
And he's not liking that strike zone right there. That's a pretty good pitch, though. 2-0. That's the difference, you know, minor leagues, big leagues. Guys are good hitters. You're going to start throwing them breaking balls with a 2-0 count instead of just throwing heaters down the middle.
Up the middle.
And that's why.
Yeah.
Woo. I mean, I'm thinking to myself, if I'm the pitcher, right, and I got 2-0 count with that guy, I know it can swing the bat, and I drop a breaking ball in there, let alone get away with the breaking ball down for a strike, I have to believe I'm going to throw it again because, no, I'm going to throw this fastball and it's going to get hit like that. Does an amazing job of just keep hitting day in and day out, no matter how much playing time he gets.
Here's Tommy Pham. 10 hits, 7 runs. He's driven in 8 in his last 10 games. And a foul ball. You know, you saw that baseball go right by Castillo. And it's hard with a guy like Ponce de Leon on the mound not to think about how dangerous the game is right now for pitchers as the exit velocities continue to increase in Major League Baseball.
Well, they're starting to make the balls harder again. The bats are getting harder every year. Guys are getting bigger and stronger.
Chopped to short. The turn. Not in time.
There was a ball not, maybe it was yesterday's game or the day before. Somebody got buzzed pretty good.
Brett Cecil.
But yes, it was Brett Cecil. Nice hustle by Tommy Pham right there.
And that hustle extends the inning to Dexter Fowler. The splits against Castillo, left-handed batters hitting .297. The righties batting .243. Fowler a couple of hits and a walk yesterday. I think the common phrase we've heard after the managerial change was hit the reset button. And that means hitting coaches, manager, the team, and Dexter Fowler. And Mike Schilt giving him a chance to play every day.
Yep. Give him some more of that salsa too. Don't forget about that. I'm at home. I was watching.
I had some today. Matt Carpenter brought me in. He said, "You need to try the salsa." I said, "No, no, no, no." He said, "No, you
save it for the team."
Exactly.
You're not doing anything but talking.
He said, "If you have this, though, people will be saying you're calling the best game you've ever called in your life."
I'm still going with save it for the players.
I'm with you too, but he made me do it, and it was good. He wouldn't tell me everything that's in the salsa, but I got a little tomato, little jalapeno pepper. Not bad. It's working for Carp, I know that. Hold the string and a good changeup. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Inside, and it's a count of 2-2. And the next pitch to Fowler. Struck him out. Second strikeout for Castillo. Cardinals strand a runner, and we're midway through 2.
Dan, obviously a special night for Daniel Ponce de Leon. Austin Gomber will have his special night tomorrow. Gomber told me he read something that really stayed with him, really put things in perspective. He told me it said me, Ponce, and Flaherty threw on 3 consecutive days, 4 times, 4 years ago in low A, and we're going to do it this week in the big leagues. To be able to come up through an organization and now in the middle of a playoff push, we're pitching 3 days in a row. That's pretty amazing. And Daniel and Austin flew to Cincinnati from Memphis together, so they had lots of time to talk about what is obviously going to be a special time for them.
I know, Jimmy, you're down in that clubhouse nonstop, and that was a strike to Suarez. It's a great story. I mean, I was talking with some of the players. You were as well. Guys are just so excited for Daniel Ponce de Leon, knowing what he's been through to get to this point in his career.
And not that far ago, you know, he was facing a life-threatening injury, and a lot of these guys know him from spring training. Obviously, he was up earlier, didn't get a chance to pitch, but everybody's rooting for him, and I got the sense everyone's excited to see him pitch tonight, Dan.
All right, Jimmy, thank you. To further what Jim was talking about, last time the Cardinals started 3 rookie pitchers in one series was the final series of the 1997 season. 3 rookie pitchers in one series. Mike Busby, Matt Morris, and Manny Ibar. The last time in Cardinals history that's happened before September, 1959. Bob Gibson, Ernie Broglio, and Marshall Bridges. So this doesn't happen very often.
Well, Danny, how about that 2014 draft too, with all those guys? I mean, how often do you see what a special thing that is for guys to get drafted or even being in the same group together, let alone drafted together and then getting a chance to play all the way through the system together and all being pitchers and then now being in the big leagues together.
It's impressive right there. Here's a 1-2 pitch and a strikeout. Ponce de Leon, his first strikeout in the major leagues.
Good location on that fastball, down and away on the black, 95. It's pretty impressive to be able to control that, especially early on in your first game. Tell you what, though, back to the draft and those guys, I have some really, really close relationships with guys, and sometimes even closer with the minor league guys that I came up with than I do with the big league guys, because you tend to play longer early on in the minor leagues with guys than you do at the big league level, because guys are moving around so much now. So these guys got to have a special bond and something they'll remember forever.
Here's Jesse Winker at the plate. The Reds, 3, 4, and 5 hitters combined a .296 average. That's 3rd best in Major League Baseball, 2nd best in the National League, and it's 1st in on-base percentage, the middle of their lineup. The fly ball to Tommy Pham. He's got it for the out. That's 5 up and 5 down for Ponce de Leon. Around the Horn is presented by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. Ozuna, Pham, and Fowler in the outfield. Carpenter, DeYoung, Garcia, Martinez along the infield. And the 9-time All-Star behind the plate, Yadier Molina. The switch hitter, Tucker Barnhart. He's got a little late life on that fastball, doesn't he?
A little explosion up in the zone, especially. See that ball kind of just takes off. Just watch the hitter's reactions. It'll let you know what kind of life he has on the ball. Good changeup.
Off-speed pitch in a hitter's count.
He doesn't throw that changeup a whole lot from what I got from the inside the clubhouse today. Good fastball. Maybe a little cutter at times. Good breaking ball. He doesn't throw it a lot either. And then the changeup every now and then.
Two and 1 the count. Pretty simple delivery. Again with that good changeup.
Oh, that's what happens when you rush that fastball up there at 96. Speed guys up. Like I said, the hitters will let you know, right? They'll let you know how much life is on that fastball by the way they swing at your off-speed stuff.
it to the count.
I have to believe if that was a strike right there, Barnhart doesn't even swing. I think he threw that ball right by him, looking for something else.
And a 2-out walk. It brings in Adam Duvall. See the frustration there with Ponce de Leon after that walk. A little bit of emotion.
You always talk about you're okay with that, right? As long as it doesn't affect your next hitter. As long as you can keep it under control. Fire is great, but controlling that fire is also important.
Duvall is 12th in RBIs in the National League with 60. Remember, he was traded for Mike Leake. Duvall was with San Francisco. Leake went to the Giants, then became a free agent, signed with the Cardinals. And both Mike Leake and Marco Gonzalez combined so far this year with 40 starts for the Mariners. And they are 19 and 11. That combination. A very tough American League West division.
Both of those guys pitching in a good ballpark for ground balls, especially Leake being the sinker ball guy. Got a lot of good ballparks to pitch in on that west side of the United States for ground balls.
How about Daniel Ponce de Leon? Couple of strikeouts. His first was Suarez in the big leagues, and now he gets Adam Duvall. Old-fashioned hardball. Weekly stats, roster updates, and more. RBI Baseball 18 available now. Learn more at RBIGame.com. Rated E for everyone. Greg Garcia, Daniel Ponce de Leon, and Matt Carpenter for St. Louis. I think the Cardinals, after seeing 2 innings of Daniel, have to be thrilled. He looks good.
Yeah, definitely. Talk about controlling your emotions. He's definitely done that so far. He's thrown strikes, got ahead, done everything that you would want to ask out of a young pitcher.
A strike to Garcia. There's Daniel on deck.
Now just a home run or something, maybe a double in the gap.
Sure.
Get the offense started, do it at all.
21st start of the year for Greg Garcia. He's playing game number 100 tonight. Ground ball pulled to Votto. He'll take it himself and steps on the bag. If you're wondering, Ponce de Leon with a couple of hits in his minor league career. Luis Castillo, he's 1-0 with an ERA near 5 in his last 5 starts. The Reds overall have won 4 of those 5. And a strike. Oh, and 2.
I'd like to know, maybe someone could ask him after the game if his heart was racing more for his first at bat or the first batter he threw to.
There's a strikeout. Watching him walk to the plate, I think it was the first at bat.
That usually is a bigger deal for some reason. Getting out there all by yourself in that batter's box is a little nerve-wracking.
Third strikeout for Castillo. In steps Carpenter. He was struck out back in the first inning to start the game on a 3-2 pitch.
Steele threw him a lot of off-speed pitches his first time through. You don't really see that too many guys leading off the game, but he jumped ship on him last time. First pitch with the first fastball he saw, so not going to let that happen this time.
A hard hit ball, defined different places you look at, is a ball that's hit at 95 miles per hour or above. Line drive, fly balls. Matt Carpenter has hit 104 of those. That is most in baseball. Like that. Into right and a base hit for Matt Carpenter.
That's why you don't pump him fastballs right there. The fastball at 97 miles an hour and down and out over the plate. Turns it around like not a big deal.
That's how you beat the shift. Hit the ball hard, and he's done that.
It's quite interesting. They're booing Yachty for his second at bat.
Well, they're just getting here.
Just remembered.
Cardinals have won 10 of 13 games this season against the Reds. Cincinnati won 2 of 3 in that series in mid-July. Molina is swinging a miss. So you see Yachty maybe guessing, gear up, the higher leg kick, hit for more power.
Definitely looking first pitch fastball there for sure. He threw him first pitch breaking ball in the first inning. It's kind of a little bit of a, people call it a chess match. I call it a guessing game. You're not really guessing the pitch, but you're guessing situation. You're guessing that, okay, you threw me first pitch breaking ball. Pitchers are trying to outthink the hitters. You're trying to think along with them, and they're thinking, well, he's not going to throw me 2 breaking balls in a row, is he? First pitch might got to be a heater right here.
Home road splits for Yadier Molina. Very good away from Busch Stadium. He's got 13 home runs and 12 of the 13 away from home, which is a bit surprising. The 1-1. Molina shoots it out to center. Hamilton going back with room and makes the catch. Yachty gave it a ride. Cardinals strand a runner, their second of the night. Ponce de Leon in his major league debut. That was the first out recorded. Little help from Marcell Ozuna. Nice play. Then the ground out. First inning was over. Take a breath. First major league strikeout of an all-star, Eugenio Suarez. He also got Adam Duvall. So we move to the bottom of the third. It's Luis Castillo, the pitcher. The switch hitting Billy Hamilton and Jose Peraza. And the first pitch taken for a ball. Castillo was signed by San Francisco, non-drafted free agent back in 2011. Then acquired from Miami with Austin Bryce, who's in the bullpen for the Reds for Dan Straley. He was the Marlins minor league pitcher of the year in 2016. Hit out of play, 2 strikes, 1-2.
I'm ready for a foul ball tonight. What do you think? What are the chances in this one? Not.
It's a little high. This booth is a little high. And as a ground ball is hit to Paul DeJong. Now the radio booth next to us, that may happen. Daniel Ponce de Leon, the road to the major leagues, and what has it been like for him?
For me, it wasn't as scary, I think, because I didn't really know what was going on too much. But I know my wife, my dad, and my agent, and everyone's, both families, they were just really worried, and they didn't really know what my future was going to be. But I never thought I wasn't going to play. Just from there, I just was like asking questions of how I can kind of build back, and they just told me I just have to wait until everything was healed up to get moving. And so then my focus then was just to heal my body so that my body could heal my brain quickly, and that's kind of worked out.
Amazing.
I mean, I guess you look at that, right? Where, I mean, athletes are built a certain way. They're not built to like take no for an answer. And I mean, we all look at that as a scary situation, but I don't think, I mean, I'm saying this in a very light mode, but I don't know if that's much different than maybe a guy running in, like breaking his leg or having a bad knee injury. I mean, I know it's a lot different because it's the head, and I'm not making light of the situation, but tough kids, right? You go out there, you get hurt, you're just programmed to go right back out there and do your job again. You just don't give up after doing it for 25 years. You know, you play baseball as a kid, you get a chance to play in AAA, AA, whatever, and you get hurt, and your brain tells you as soon as I'm ready to play, I'm playing again no matter what.
2-2 pitch to Hamilton. Puts it in play to short. DeJong. That's out number 2.
Really don't expect anything less from a guy like this.
Well, here it was. And again, last year on May 9th, flashback, Victor Caratini at the plate. And Ponce de Leon hit on the head, and after that had surgery, was in the ICU unit, the hospital. They were playing in Iowa, the AAA affiliate of the Cubs. Good for Daniel to be here tonight. Talked to John Mozeliak today, the president of baseball operations for the Cardinals. He said about 2 months after this had happened, and many in the front office went and visited him and kept in touch, made sure things were going okay with just his life, not even worrying about baseball. And John said he got a call from the medical staff in the minor leagues, and they said, hey, Daniel is feeling pretty good and wants to start playing baseball again, like you said. He said, wow, that's amazing.
Doesn't know anything different. Impressive, but doesn't shock me one bit.
The 1-1 pitch to Peraza, and a fly ball lifted into right. And another 1-2-3 inning. DeJong, Ozuna, Martinez coming up. It'll be DeYoung, Ozuna, and Martinez for the Cardinals. Cardinals with a pair of hits. Single by Jose Martinez in the second, and a 2-out single by Matt Carpenter in the third. Cardinals with a record of 50-49. They have not been .500 since April 14th when they were 7-7. One of the guys in this lineup with pretty good numbers against Castillo, Paul DeYoung, 3 for 8, double and a home run. And hits a grounder to third. Suarez, one away. Cardinals are teaming up with the Post-Dispatch to bring fans a great deal on tickets for a limited time. You can see the Cardinals host the Rockies July 30th through August 2nd for $6 to purchase, or for complete details visit cardinals.com/post. There's Marcell Ozuna. Ozuna fly to center, first time up. He's 0 for 1. We've seen some long home runs hit in this ballpark, but Ozuna's earlier this year here in Cincinnati, maybe the best we have ever seen in terms of distance. So he chops that foul.
Well, you know, Danny, if they don't hit him a long way, then someone's going to go up and catch him.
I've heard that before. You've told me that.
You better get it up there by that window or a couple rows up. Center field.
Here's a 1-2. I've seen you do that here. I saw Billy Hamilton do it last time we saw the Reds. And Castillo has given up his fair share of home runs. That's the one that was so long. Jose Martinez, an opposite field shot. And the 2-2. Full count.
Get that ball on top of the boat out there.
Yep.
Well, from the second level of that boat, I guess, or first level of that boat. That is a long, long way. I've never seen a ball go that far.
I saw one other one.
Adam Dunn hit one to the top of the right field stands one day. I thought was pretty impressive. I'm surprised we haven't seen one leave here.
In right.
Yeah.
David Ross hit one above, you know, the area at least where Ozuna hit one, right where those fans are below the pilot house, that area.
I've seen the ball go into the camera well out there, and that's about it.
'04, Jose Lima gave up a home run to Adam Dunn. It went 535 feet and did get out of the stadium. This is the 8th pitch of the at-bat. And Ozuna draws the walk. Adam Dunn over the weekend was just inducted into the Reds Hall of Fame. The batter is Jose Martinez. He singled on a 2-1 pitch to center back in the second inning. Cardinals in the month of July, the offense averaging nearly 6 runs a game. Starting pitching, some injuries right now with Michael Wacha, Adam Wainwright, Carlos Martinez. The 1-0. I think the frustrating part for the Cardinals, the bullpen. And the bullpen over the weekend, 19 runs given up to the Cubs.
feel like that's kind of typical for a series in July in Chicago for some reason.
Martinez again can't believe it. He's been frustrated with the strike zone in both his plate appearances, 1 and 2.
Oh, you can see why. Ball's not only is it off the plate, it's at the very bottom. Those are tough ones to take.
Take a look at Jose and see if you think he's off the plate a little bit more.
You know, you said that the other day, and I agree with you a little bit. This camera angle we're working with tonight, though, isn't the best from the angle that it's at. And it makes it even look further away.
And in your experience, the reasoning behind that, when you've seen guys back off the plate?
Well, normally it's maybe just not being comfortable in wherever they're at, or they lose where they're at. But yeah, definitely if you get pitched in a little bit, I think you're looking for ways to get the ball away from your body. I always thought he was kind of far off the plate anyways. He never really had that issue. But he does such a great job of getting his arms extended that maybe teams are getting tired of it.
It's sharply to third, out at second, and the turn, it's a double play. 5-4-3, Suarez, Dixon, Tivado. The Carpenter salsa, thanks to Adam Wainwright, has taken on a life of its own, hasn't it, Jim Hayes?
Yeah, and as a member of the media, Dan, I'm obligated to beat a dead horse, so there's going to be another Matt Carpenter salsa update from Salsa Central. Matt was running low on the Magic Salsa, dangerously low. He didn't have enough to get through this 3-game set. So Matt told me he went out grocery shopping this morning, brought the ingredients to the clubhouse, and made a fresh batch. It's not from Waino's Magic Garden that Waino put in Matt's yard, but Carpenter believes it will maintain its magical effect on hitting. Questionable at this point, Dan, because Matt is only 1 for 2.
I think that's okay. That's 500. Take that.
Sarcasm, Dan.
I get it, Jimmy. Jimmy, did you try it?
I did not try it, Dan. I felt it wasn't my place, but I trust you if you said it was delicious.
It was delicious.
But it's not from the garden. That's the whole thing. Is it the real magical salsa? We'll have to see.
If it still has, you know, some of the elements to it, I'm gonna give it the benefit of the doubt.
It's homemade. He's still making it, so he believes in it. We're gonna believe in it.
Jimmy's not beating a dead horse. I like to get the salsa update.
Well, just come back to Salsa Central and I'll have another one.
Should go down there and sneak a little bit while everyone's out on the field.
Got to tell you, Jimmy, it's pretty good. Both Jimmys. Might want to try it.
All right, after the game, Dan, I'm going to go in there and get some.
Go now. Go now.
Maybe it'll enhance my broadcast.
Go now while no one's looking.
Here's a 1-2 pitch. It's a sliding catch by Marcelo Zuna back in the first to take a hit away from Brandon Dixon. He was called up when Alex Blandino went on the DL with a torn ACL. Little chopper that's pulled foul. Ponce de Leon is coming up a one-hitter in his last appearance, which was on the 15th. First complete game shutout of his 5 minor league seasons. Two to right, and Fowler comes up with it and makes the catch in right field. Good play.
Nice job by Dexter, just turning and going. You don't have a chance to really react. You just got to go, and he's already on the move. Don't have time to turn around again. You just got to go, and hopefully he made the right step. Ball almost tried to slice back over his head.
There's Joey Votto. Joey owns a on-base percentage of .444 all-time against the Cardinals. It's the great debate, on-base percentage, or do you expand the zone, especially in this ballpark with his power, and look to hit more home runs?
I mean, it is a great debate. I think that, you know, that's great. I love that. I love that he gets on base. But, man, he's hitting. If he's going to do that, you might as well put him in the one hole, right? Because I think I wouldn't be asking him to expand the zone. I would be asking him to swing a little bit more often, especially because he's such a great hitter. Early in the counts, go after 3-1, 2-0 fastballs, try to drive some balls and try to get into the gap, more RBIs, just more plate appearance, more hits, more. I think it's. Don't get me wrong. I think the on-base percentage, there's a place for it. There's, you know, you get into late innings and they're not pitching to you. Yeah, you want to get on and try to rally, but first inning, you want to drive a ball in the gap, get something started. Guys are on base, you want to drive balls. You don't want to just take a walk just because you're going to sit there and outlast the pitcher.
Inside and does not get the call, so the second walk handed out by Ponce de Leon. Reminder that Cardinals baseball on Fox Sports Midwest is brought to you by St. Louis Children's Hospital and Washington University Physicians, Guardians of Childhood, and by Toyota. Let's go places.
And I'm not saying that that's not a great job getting on base right there, because that's the perfect place for it. But, you know, I would be a little upset if I was the manager and watching Joey take a 2-0 fastball against a guy who's throwing pretty straight fastballs at 94, 95 miles an hour. I want to see him let it go.
Now it's Suarez. It's the first major league strikeout for Ponce de Leon back in the second. Joey, I think, is kind of a mystery to fans and media. You played with him. Was he a mystery to teammates too? Yeah.
He just keeps to himself. He's a good guy. I think that he's just always been really working on his game. I know he's been really working hard on being more of a leader in the clubhouse than a teammate, other than just kind of one of those guys who's trying to take care of himself. That story came out a couple years ago, and I think it's really helped some of the players around him. I think it takes him, you know, time to get used to, time to grow up. As far as baseball wise, is how to help your teammates as long as at the same time as you're helping yourself.
Here's a 0-2 pitch to Suarez. Just missed on the outside corner. Billy Hamilton has talked about how Votto has been instrumental, at least trying to get him to a different level at the plate. Sometimes there's results positive, but does take the time to try to help out. See Yachty calling for a changeup there, then raising the left arm as if to indicate to Carpenter and DeYoung.
Heads up.
Yep, it's coming. Be ready. The 1-2. Whacked out to left. Ozuna backing up and makes the catch.
Well, this is going to be the test right here when you start to get to the guys the second time around. They've seen your fastball. Hasn't thrown a breaking ball yet, I don't think, or a big breaking ball. If he has, not very many. It's just a little bit, a little slider, a little changeup. We'll see how he adapts and how he adjusts if the guy starts squaring the ball up a little bit. It's 2 balls in a row. Been hit pretty hard.
Gotta call it the tweener, if you will, that breaking ball that he has. We saw in the highlights he does at times really break one off. He can, but it's primarily been fastballs like that. Seen that very often. Not holding on, but yet
no,
trying to keep Votto close, and backs up a step or two. And the 0-1 pitch, fouled back, 0-2.
He must hit the ball down the line because there's no other reason to be standing over there like that other than the scouting report.
Winker fly to center first time up, and the 0-2 pitch. Martinez is behind Votto, starts, then backs up almost to the edge of the dirt, the grass, and there's a ground ball that's hit to Greg Garcia. To Martinez. A couple of good plays defensively for the Cardinals in their outfield this inning. This one tailing, and Fowler comes up with it. Milwaukee starting 3.5 games back of Chicago tonight. Pittsburgh 8, the Cardinals 8.5. Here's Tommy Pham. 5th inning rolls in. Quietly, Tommy Pham is up to 66 runs scored, 3rd most in the National League. Charlie Blackmon with 76 of the Rockies. Ozzie Albies with 75. Grounded into a fielder's choice first time up. The 2-0. One of those times at night where the lights really haven't taken effect. Not easy to pick up the ball. Two and two. Hits it sharply to short. Peraza gets up and dug out by Votto.
Tommy scorches this ball. Peraza stays back. Gets it over there to Joey Votto just in time. Tommy was hustling down the line.
No surprise. Here's Dexter Fowler, struck out swinging. Jimmy, you pick up so many little things with guys at the plate. Let's talk about Dexter. What are you seeing right now as he's been late on some of these fastballs?
I don't really know. I felt like earlier in the year he wasn't using his legs when he wasn't swinging this. I thought he was topping a lot of balls. Now I feel like he's getting back into that mode where he's really trying to let it go and swing a little bit harder. But you're right, the transition is kind of pushing him into almost moving a little bit too much. But you know, this is just something. Sometimes you have to make a drastic change to get your body to start going again. And so I like where he's going with it. It's just going to take him some time to get his timing back, because now you're throwing more of your body into the play, and it might just slow you down a little bit. But I definitely like the swing here versus with no legs. It's more. This reminds me of the Dexter Fowler we saw last year. It's hit some of those home runs in some big situations. Felt like he was just almost too quiet this year, with no drive with his legs at all early in the year.
2-2 the count. And he went a strikeout of Fowler. He's 0 for 2. August 17, 30,000 fans 16 and older receive an adult Cardinals mystery BP pullover courtesy of Coca-Cola and the great folks at Schnucks. Be surprised at the gates when you discover which Cardinals player you get to rep. Might be Molina, DeYoung, Carpenter, Ozuna, Fowler. To purchase tickets, cardinals.com/promotions. Strike one on Greg Garcia. That strikeout was the 4th of the night for Castillo. The 1-1 pitch. Ouch. Hit by the pitch. And the Cardinals at least will get Ponce de Leon through the lineup.
We'll leave a nice bruise for tomorrow. You wake up tomorrow and jump out of bed and like, oh, what was that from? Forget all about it for a while, and then your first step in the morning, you'll remember exactly where that came from.
A little black and blue.
A little kind of hits in the back of your hamstring. That swelling gets into your IT band and everything kind of locks up there for a little bit.
I wonder what it's like for Ponce de Leon to step in the batter's box. Now we talk about, you know, guys hitting the ball 100 miles an hour back at you. They're also throwing it 100 to you. Well, there's got to be some type of trepidation with that.
Something tells me he's not the best hitter right now, but he might get some more at bats as time goes on.
You didn't like that last swing, huh?
That last swing was a good one. Just not toward the plate. Can't be fun. Really can't. Trying to go up there into big league level, and if you don't hit for a long time, and even though he hits in the minor leagues, it's still just getting in the box is just I mean, it's when you see normal people come into the batting cage and get around the cage and see it live action, the reactions that people have is unbelievable.
Yep. 2 strikeouts in the inning and 5 tonight for Castillo. The banks of the Ohio. There's no score. And may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Cardinals. It's a game of strikeouts and home runs and power. And who defines that? How about Tyler O'Neill, especially the power? Watch this one. He had 3 home runs yesterday. He's now up to 26 combined, the minor leagues and the major leagues. 3 home runs, Tyler O'Neill. 23 with Memphis and 3 with the Cardinals. Boy, he's intriguing, isn't he?
You see that last one. It's like a little slider cutter inside. It's like he didn't even flinch. He just, oh, I should swing at this, and boom, short swing and a bomb. It's good news, though. He's not just hitting fastballs out of the yard. He's hitting all the pitches, and that's a big key, especially when you need that up here.
Tucker Barnhart with a fly ball near the line and left, and the catch made by Marcell Ozuna. It's been 2 walks allowed by Daniel Ponce de Leon, and that has been it. He struck out 2, both coming in the 2nd inning here in his major league debut. Brings in Duvall, who is from Louisville, Kentucky, but actually grew up a Cardinal fan. And with 1 out, the first pitch to him. We have 2 interim managers in this ball game. That's hit out of play. Mike Schilt for the Cardinals. Jim Riggleman, many years in the Cardinals organization. There's Mike.
Probably doesn't happen every day, huh?
No.
Or ever. I'm sure there's a stat for it somewhere, though.
Reds get off to a very, very poor start. 8-27 through May 7th. And since then, they have the 4th best record in the National League. Good pitch. And we talked about a key, throwing strikes, and he's done that tonight.
He's done a nice job of getting ahead, moving the ball around, raising up the eye level a little bit, throwing the breaking ball down. He's been able to do a little bit of everything so far.
Cubs playing host to the Diamondbacks tonight. Arizona with 5 in the top of the first at Wrigley. 2 balls and 2 strikes. That's fouled back. And very close to the radio booth. What did I tell you?
You're always right.
Thank you, Jimmy.
Why is the radio booth like 6 feet lower than ours? What the heck? Not those guys. The guys closer to us. How about the little depth change here? That's why they get the ball.
That's right.
Oh,
That's popped up. And Daniels got it for the out. That's in your kitchen right there, isn't it?
You couldn't have said it better yourself. This is what they call in your kitchen. Whenever the pitcher has to call you off and has no other choice on the infield but to make the play, ball's not traveling very well. You know what they used to say? Ball's not traveling to center. Ball's not traveling to the pitcher.
Here's Castillo.
That's not good.
I get the premise of wanting infielders to make the catch, but are you telling me that pitchers can't do that?
No, I'm saying that it's pretty bad if you're the hitter when
Oh, I know what you're
only
saying.
play is for the pitcher to make. But yeah,
But I mean, in general,
they should be able to catch the ball.
Yes.
I mean, if it gets up there and somebody can run underneath it, I understand. But we can't catch it coming back to him.
Back to Daniel. He'll flip over to Martinez for the out. We head to the 6th. Top of the lineup coming up for St. Louis. Hall of Fame weekend, August 17th through the 19th, presented by Edward Jones. And you can take home a Dizzy Dean watch, courtesy of AT&T. It's August 19th. Brewers will be in town. Tickets at cardinals.com/promotions. Megan Eberhardt in our promotions department does a great job, and that's a fun giveaway. Well, the pitchers and the starters, the story this ball game so far here this evening. Matt Carpenter, Yadier Molina, and Paul DeYoung for the Cardinals. Carpenter struck out on a 3-2 pitch swinging back in the first and picked up the Cardinals' second hit with a base hit to right in the third.
Well, this is where it gets interesting, right? Third time around, both pitchers are in kind of the same boat, been pitching well, but it seems like every time we're doing a game, the third time around is always where those averages start to raise.
What'd you think of the four-man outfield used by Joe Madden yesterday?
You know, I just saw that with another team like the night before, and I was watching it, and so when I saw it, I was like, oh, he saw that on TV too.
It's another extra base hit here for Carpenter off the sidewall. Or will it be? Throwing to second, he is safe at second base. And dive into that Salsa as he dives into second base. That's now 56 extra base hits for Carpenter, most in the National League. His 31st double. I mean, the umpire, I don't think could have been in any better position. It's almost part of the play with the tag. Good opportunity here for the Cardinals. Now Yadier Molina. Jimmy, this is the at-bat that you talked about earlier, where Yadi is secure in his career, in contract. And those are things now in modern day baseball you talk about, to where he will give himself up and take a ball to right and move a runner over.
This is where you see where he's at too, the way he feels today, because if he thinks he's going to get a heater to hit and he's feeling good, he might try to go deep one pitch and then maybe work back to hit the ball the other way.
1 ball, 1 strike.
He's mad at himself for not pushing that slider over there. That would have been a nice pitch for him to just give himself up.
He is flied to center twice. The second time a line drive all the way to the track that was brought in by Billy Hamilton. The 1-1 pitch to Molina. And you can see he wants to go to right field.
Yeah, he's starting to think about it now. And you know, the pitcher's job too is to not give him a pitch to hit to the other side. That's why he's throwing a sinker right there. That's why he threw the slider and the pitch before, hoping that he would be out in front of it and maybe pull it on the ground. So it's going back and forth. He's not going to just let him hit the ball to right field.
And there's room on the left side of the infield as Suarez is near the line. Peraza trying to keep Carpenter close at the bag at second. Big gap in left center field. A scoreless ball game here in the top of the 6th. The 1-2. Now that's getting in your kitchen too.
Well, that doesn't show you he's trying to move the ball over to right field to get that runner to third. That's, I mean, that's basically right there. He's just thinking about just getting the ball to the right side of the infield. Waited as long as he could and still tried to hit it over there.
Matt Carpenter, the first runner on either side to reach second base. His leadoff double, second hit of the night, now 2 for 3. Again, 1 ball and 2 strikes on the Cardinals catcher. And it's a base hit into left field. Carpenter being waved in. Duvall's throw to the plate, not in time. Molina to second, and it's 1-0 St. Louis. Our Nissan drive of the game.
It's a great piece of hitting by Yadi right there. Hustling all the way, Carp. I thought he had a nice, easy chance to throw him out right there. Bad throw. Not only is it a bad throw offline, but he airmails it and gives Yadi a chance to keep on going all the way to second base.
Well, to be honest, I was shocked they sent him. with
I
nobody
was too,
out.
to be honest with you.
And now Paul DeYoung, who's lined out to right, grounded out to third. A double, a single, back-to-back hits for the Cardinals here in the top of the 6th. And DeYoung hits it a ton. Into center. Hamilton back and makes the catch, and Molina not tagging up. Oh boy. Yachty's got to be at third base.
Yeah, he definitely he's hit himself on the head right there, and he knows he outsmarted himself. I think he thought Paul hit that ball harder and it was going to get over his head. Sometimes you're so worried about scoring that you forget the little part of the game. Happens even to the best of us.
And that's going to be it for Castillo. David Hernandez had been throwing in the bullpen for Cincinnati. And Hernandez will take over for Castillo with Marcell Ozuna coming up. And the Cardinals a 1-0 lead here in the top of the 6th. Nothing our score. It's our Chevy called to the pen. Very good numbers. ERA under 2 in 34 innings of work, and the right-handers only hitting 154 against him. Ozuna on the first pitch, a fly ball lifted out to right. Molina will draw the throw but stays put. And that's 2 outs. And the Cardinals looking for a 2-out hit now from Jose Martinez, and this is the guy you want in this spot. He has been really good with 2 outs. He's got 30 RBI with 2 outs. That's second in Major League Baseball with Javi Baez, the league leader in the senior circuit. Trevor Story of Colorado with 42. And the first pitch is strike. And even further, 2 outs and runners in scoring position. 476 the average.
That's some kind of amazing number right there. That's
sure is.
You don't see that even close to that. You're lucky to be in the 300s.
Here's the 0-1. The 1-1 pitch to the Cardinals first baseman. Chopped foul. Be interesting what Mike Schilt does here. I know it's early, and I say early, you're in the 6th of a tight game, which is also part of the equation here. But you have a lead. Martinez gets one final at bat maybe here, and you could see the Cardinals then make a defensive switch.
Yeah, I can see that, but where we are now, or we are short, obviously, with Wong being gone, and his spot was taken up by a pitcher. So, yeah, you're right. I think that that's when the game starts to, you'll start to see what kind of managerial situations you get into and how they make those decisions, because, you know, you say it up here all the time as we're talking, you got to be thinking an inning or two ahead, and you're already starting to look at who's coming up next inning and where does the spot and the lineup come for the pitcher, and right-hander versus a left-hander coming up in an inning or two. So yeah, everything's going on so fast right now. It'll be interesting to see, being short a position player, how he's going to handle this. To me right now in this ballpark, I leave him in the game. I want to see his bat with that short right center field porch, especially because it's only 1-0. Keep him at first, try to keep him engaged in the game.
3-2 pitch, and a strikeout of Martinez. Inning started with a double by Carpenter, diving into second base, barely making it, but in there. Then Molina brought him home. It's 1-0 midway through 6. Baseball. Daniel Ponce de Leon, what a debut it has been thus far. He has struck out 2, he's walked 2. That's been it. Cardinals have a 1-0 lead on an RBI off the bat of Yadier Molina to bring in Matt Carpenter. The story right now, the pitching of Ponce de Leon in his major league debut. Here's Billy Hamilton. Let's check in with Jim Hayes. Jimmy.
Yeah, Mike Maddox told me before the game that he had very simple advice for Daniel Ponce de Leon. Enjoy the moment. You earned it. He said he made sure he understood that the stuff he showed in Memphis would play here. So far, he's right, Dan.
It's been fun to watch. For the most part, pitching ahead in the count, which is something that we talked about as our key to the game. And the 0-2 pitch to Hamilton. Slapped foul.
Yachty calling for that fastball up and away. He didn't get it up.
The 1-2 to Hamilton. Pulled the string and struck him out. And that's 3 tonight for Daniel Ponce de Leon.
It's a pretty nice pitch right there, especially because those littler guys at the plate usually tend to look for the off-speed pitch and fight off the fastball. Try to put the ball in play and run. That's just a really nice changeup.
So 1 out and nobody on. Jose Peraza. Cardinals couldn't figure out a way to get Peraza out. You may recall right before the break.
I recall.
He had 11 hits in that series.
And they were every kind of hit too. Other way, pull, bloop, hard hit. Lead off the game. Late in the game. Hitting like 270, I think, when he came into town. It's at 294 today.
Here's a 1-1. And the Cardinals calling up Daniel Ponce de Leon. And his last 2 starts at AAA, he had given up a combined 3 hits in 15 innings, 1 run, 12 strikeouts, 5 walks, and it's carried over to tonight. He has been sensational. The 1-2 pitch. Out of play.
You know, it always fascinates me, right? Watching the fans go after a foul ball.
We got to keep you engaged, Jimmy. I know you love that.
This guy down here dove over a family of 3, spilled his drink all over the lady, got the ball, then fell over the chair, then stood up and got some cheers. It's just a baseball.
Now, did the fan give the ball to the family of 3?
No. Oh, maybe the little boy did end up with it actually now. He must have come back and given it to him. I think he felt bad because he poured half of his drink on the lady's head.
It's usually not a good thing.
No, she was a little hot.
The 2-2 pitch to Peraza. Fouled back. Peraza twice his fly to right. Second time was a soft liner caught by Dexter Fowler. The 2-2. Changeup, left that one up in the zone, but got away with it. This will be the 8th pitch of the at-bat coming up.
So talk about the 3rd time around is where you start to see guys having a little bit better idea of what the pitch is, what his stuff is going to be, maybe what to look for when you get 2 strikes. Definitely makes a huge difference when you have been able to see multiple pitches from someone you've never faced.
And a fly ball lifted out to left. Marcell Ozuna backing up to make the catch. Take a look at our matchup for tomorrow. Our Budweiser What's on Tap. Austin Gomber will come your way at 5:30. Homer Bailey back in the rotation for the Reds. You've seen Gomber. He's got good stuff, and that was coming out of the bullpen. And he gets a start tomorrow. Here's Brandon Dixon. He was robbed by Ozuna and left with a sliding catch. Second batter of the game for Ponce de Leon. And it was a really good play in right field by Dexter Fowler to take a hit away. And he's 0 for 2.
Pretty much been robbed twice.
One ball, one strike.
But you know what they say? Hang with them, kid. This is the big leagues. They make those plays up here.
Here's a 1-1. Out of play.
You get to hear that for about 2 or 3 years at the beginning of your career by all the veterans.
You also hear it when you work with one of my partners. It's the big leagues, man. Here's a 1-2.
Hoping he found his way safely back home after yesterday.
He was staying, Tim McCarver was staying in Chicago and then headed to the Hall of Fame. Going to check out Bob Costas getting the Ford C. Frick Award. The 2-2. Ground ball. Hit left side. Loved by DeYoung, and the stretch by Martinez. Nice concentration there from the Cardinals shortstop Paul DeYoung. The story starting to develop. Better than ever. Philip at Philip 66 with 8 gallons or more. And you can get a voucher for up to 50% off on up to 8 tickets to a Cardinals home game. For more information, visit cardinals.com/Philip66. The Gateway Honda home run inning. Cardinals hit a home run. The Gateway Honda dealers donate $1,000 to the Make-A-Wish Foundation of Missouri. And the first pitch taken for a ball. One and one the count on Tommy Pham. Twice he has grounded to short. Last time he stung the ball to the point it knocked over Peraza. And Pham drives one. Left center. Hamilton on the move. At the wall. And it's off the top of the wall. Pham to second. Racing to third. And it's a triple for Tommy Pham.
Tell you what, that guy right there almost pulled that off again. What a try. I don't know if you see it here, but watch how far Billy Hamilton goes for this ball. I thought this ball was going to get out.
How did it not get out?
I don't know, but I think Billy Hamilton almost overran that ball.
I think he did, Jimmy. They are reviewing the play at third base and the tag. So the Reds in a one-run game challenging. See if they can't take away this triple from Tommy Pham.
I like this challenge from the Reds.
Sure.
I don't like it from the Cardinals, but as hard as Tommy Pham slid into third, you would think that at some point he had to pop off that bag a little bit. I'm still impressed at how Billy Hamilton got to that ball. Check out the slide.
Ooh, did the foot come off? See the left foot come off the bag.
He's completely off the bag at some point.
Be tough to tell if they hold the tag there with that.
It's right. Hang on, give it a second. Right there. See the hand go down?
Yeah.
Not just because this is happening right now to the St. Louis Cardinals, but that over the course of time with the replay is one of the exceptions to the rule I don't like. Because I think that's such a minute second that that's probably going to happen almost every slide.
And Fowler chops one up the middle, gloved at short and the out. So he beats the throw, but the left foot comes off the bag, and then he's off the bag there. And to Suarez's credit, kept the tag on him.
And I would think nowadays that you would teach all your infielders to just hold the tag down the whole time.
Absolutely.
Especially when the guy's running that hard. I mean, like I said, that's pretty much come off the bag almost every time when you have that hard of a slide.
Garcia on a hop to Suarez, and it turns out now to be a quick top of the seventh. Time to stretch. 1-0. St. Louis Cardinals baseball is brought to you by Budweiser. Wherever legendary MLB moments happen, Budweiser will be there. And by Ford, going further so you can. Bottom of the seventh rolls in at the Great American Ballpark. The Major League debut of Daniel Ponce de Leon. Updating his Hyundai pitch arsenal, the fastball, changeup, and slider. It's been a total of 90 pitches. fastball has been very good.
Been sneaky up and down, pretty much all around. He's thrown a lot of fastballs by guys. I think he's surprising a few of the Reds hitters.
There's Joey Votto, who's grounded out and walked. Daniel has struck out 3 and walked 2 tonight. The 1-0 pitch. 2-0. The 3-0 pitch. Out of play. Swinging on 3-0, Joey Votto.
If you're going to be swinging on 3-0, you better be out in front of that ball and being ready to hit a fastball.
The 3-1 pitch. 3-2. The next to Votto. And a leadoff walk. You know, the Cardinals, thinking about how this game has unfolded, the way the bullpen is going, you wonder if Mike Schilt would ask potentially to go to his bullpen with a Jordan Hicks or a Bud Norris more so tonight than maybe he normally would. We'll see how it unfolds. And as we say that, Jordan Hicks gets up, and Tyler Lyons. The 1-0 pitch now to Suarez. Fastball and a strike, 1-1. Suarez struck out back in the second inning, lined out in the fourth. It's grounded into 13 double plays. Out of play. It's tied for the team lead with Joey Votto. 13 double plays grounded into. A ball and 2 strikes. He's had that late life on the fastball up in the zone.
Like I said, you can tell the hitters are just showing you that they're having trouble catching up to it unless they're completely cheating for the fastball.
The 2-2. Strike zone has been tight here in this inning.
All of a sudden.
That's fouled back. Incredible story of Daniel Ponce de Leon. May 9th. A comebacker, hit on the head, line drive, emergency surgery. Season was over. Comes back in spring training and now making his major league debut. The 3-2 pitch to Suarez. Fouled back.
We keep talking about the same thing over and over, but it's true. You keep watching these hitters, they're just a tad bit late. And that just goes to show you that there's life in his fastball still. So that you either have to give yourself up as a hitter and be ready for that fastball, and that will leave you wide open for the breaking stuff.
Crowd of 17,518 tonight. The 3-2 pitch to Suarez. Fouled back again.
Guess what that hit, Danny?
The radio booth.
The radio booth. Right in the window.
The 9th pitch coming in this at bat to the All-Star Suarez. Came in 8th in the National League in the batting race. The 3-2 pitch. A fly ball lifted out to left. Marcell Ozuna is there to make the catch. Are you 13 or under? Do you like Cardinals items? Want to attend an invite-only autograph party with players at Busch Stadium on September 1st? If you answered yes to all of these, join the Cardinals Kids Club. $30, the Cardinals Kids Club. This is where it gets fascinating for Mike Schilt. Pitch count 105. The spot for Daniel Ponce de Leon is due up first for the Cardinals in the top of the 8th.
You're going to call it fascinating. I'm going to call it nerve-wracking.
A little bit of both.
You know he's on the spot, right? And managed what, about 7 games now? And 6 to be exact. And it's a big, big decision right now.
Jesse Winker at the plate. Left field. Who wants it? It'll be Ozuna. He's got it.
Once again, that fastball is getting deep still on these Reds hitters. Talked about him throwing a 1-hit shutout, and I believe it was in his last outing in AAA. He went all the way up to 110 pitches, so he's been at this spot before. He's still got to get through another couple innings.
To think of where this young man was 14 months ago. Tucker Barnhart. Strike one. Barnhart has walked and fly to left. And this incredible story unfolding here in Cincinnati. This young man making his major league debut. Outfield is straight away. And the 0-1. Make it 0-2. That's his father there with the Cardinal hat, Ramon. His wife, Jennifer, he was married in February, is also here in attendance. The 0-2 pitch now to Tucker Barnhart. The 1-2 fouled back as he went with the changeup. Boy, he's had that as an effective pitch, in particular against the left-handed batters.
He's got to get that one down right there. You saw the better swings on the off-speed pitches as the game has progressed, but still the fastball still eating up guys. And Barnhart had a pretty good swing at that changeup up in the zone.
His season high for pitches at AAA this year with Memphis, 111. He has matched that tonight in his major league debut. Two and two. The 2-2 popped up and out of play. You can only imagine the emotions of just seeing your son make his major league debut. Now add to it a chance at history.
Like to see him put him away with a good fastball right here.
The 2-2 pitch. Out of play. Boy, Jimmy, you're right. They are not catching up with that fastball. Ramon almost had a souvenir. This will be the 8th pitch of this at bat.
That would have been something right there, huh? Uh-oh.
Turn into a fan. Get it. Oh. The 2-2 pitch.
Well, Danny, we'll see right here. Got a 3-2 count. As a hitter, you've got to be guessing fastball. They've had a hard time catching up with it all night, but this would be the one spot I would think that should be on time for the fastball. See who wins this battle.
3-2 pitch. Fly ball. Left field. Ozuna. He has it.
And then with the changeup.
The remarkable debut continues for Daniel Ponce de Leon. Leon in his major league debut. 7 innings, no hits allowed. Walked 3, struck out 3, 116 pitches. Good for Daniel Ponce de Leon. What a story. It's awesome.
I mean, wow. What do you say? I mean, what a game.
Can you imagine the emotions running through his mind right now, and his dad who's here and his wife who is in attendance as well.
Did not even get into trouble at all.
Now the decision, let's talk a little bit about that for Mike Shildt. 116 pitches in his major league debut with a chance at history.
I don't want to touch this one. I think you have to protect the kid and his arm. I think that's first and foremost. Still have to get through 2 more innings. I think he done a great job. I think that there's obviously been dialogue over the course of the game. At one point, it looked like he had said to Yachty or even Jack Flaherty that he was done or he was tired. So they knew what was going on. But still, that doesn't take anything away from what he just did.
116 pitches for Daniel Ponce de Leon. Jordan Hicks is hot and ready to go for the 8th. This is Harrison Bader, pinch hitting. Jim Hayes is going to have a chance to visit with Daniel's dad here momentarily. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Harrison Bader. And Bader hits it off the end of the bat. Out to shallow center, and the catch is made. Oh, Peraza holds on. Jim Hayes, take it away.
Yeah, this is Daniel Ponce de Leon's dad, Ramon. An unbelievable major league debut, 7 innings of no-hit ball for your son. What was it like for you watching it?
It was great. I can't explain the feelings. It's a great thing to be out here with the Cardinals organization. And, you know, he earned everything he's done. It was awesome to watch.
No question about it. You know, when he had his surgery after getting hit by the line drive, we talked to him afterwards, and he said it was never a doubt in his mind that he would make it all the way back. Did you ever doubt that he would be back, not only pitching, but in the major leagues and throwing no-hit ball for 7 innings?
No. If Daniel says he's going to do something, he puts his mind and he does it. You saw it today. He's earned his spot, and he's earned this chance here, and it had nothing to do with his brain injury. He earned what he's done today.
How about you? Were you as nervous as he was, or who was more nervous?
Oh, he's ice. I'll be the nervous one in the family. He's ice. You can see it on the field.
Well, it was a great major league debut by your son. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
All right, Danny.
Great stuff, Jimmy. Thank you. 1-0 Cardinals. With 1 out is Daniel Ponce de Leon. His night is through. I'm sure it's gut-wrenching right there for that man, Mike Schilt, because he may never, ever be in this position again. You never know. It's his major league debut. But as you said, you're protecting the young man. It's 116 pitches. He's got a bright, bright future. That's obvious after watching what we've seen here tonight. And you got a ball game to win. It's 1-0.
Yeah, and first and foremost, protecting the young man. I think second of all, the ball game to win. But also, if you watch how the game has developed. So he's thrown a lot of pitches and a lot more in the last couple innings. A lot of foul balls, and then you got to think to yourself, I mean, what are the chances of him getting out of the next inning with under a 10-pitch inning, and then you still got to go out there and do that again. So at the very minimum, he's got 126, 130, and still have to pitch the 9th inning. I just don't think that's a very good position to put him in, unless you're talking about a guy that you've been watching throw all season, and you know what he's capable of doing.
It's our BJC difference maker, BJC healthcare difference maker, Daniel Ponce de Leon, his major league debut. 7 innings in that debut.
He is definitely the fastball. As you see, those guys are all laid on the fastball. He just kept throwing it.
It was a good play there by the young with the third baseman Carpenter cutting in front. Dad loves it. So did Yachty. Amir Garrett into the ball game to face Matt Carpenter, who is 2 for 3. He has scored the lone run tonight after he doubled back in the 6th. Terchevy called to the pen. It was Garrett on the mound when Carpenter hit that ball to center in St. Louis, and Billy Hamilton brought it back in. I remember doing the game on radio with Mike Shannon in San Diego, and Bud Smith was tossing his night of no-hit baseball, and how gut-wrenching that was for Tony La Russa and Dave Duncan. Do you keep him in? Do you take him out? Young man, bright future. It is a hard, hard decision. Some say, well, maybe not. Maybe just let him go.
No, I think the right decision was made. But like I said, there's conversations going on during the course of that game. It's not like he walks off the mound in the 7th inning and they go, you're done. You say, you know, thanks for coming. Been talking to him for at least a couple innings, see how he feels, especially if you haven't seen him pitch all year, if you've been up here in the big leagues as the manager. So you definitely have to have all that and then take account for what's going on, and then make your decision. But I think you have to just take care of the young man in his arm.
Sixth inning, our Budweiser plays of the game. Matt Carpenter with this double inside the first base line. And then Yadier Molina was trying to move him to third base by going to right. Got 2 strikes on him and brought him in. Jose Oquendo took a chance and it paid off. Another question will be for Mike Schilt. How does he want to align his defense looking ahead to get the final 6 outs? You're talking about the potential of, bringing in a Jairo Munoz or a Jed Jerko to play on the infield, moving Carpenter to first. Also, you could put Bader in right after he pinch hit for Daniel Ponce de Leon. Something to think about.
Well, if you look at it, there's really nowhere to double switch right now, so you're going to have to play it straight up as far as getting any advantage out of it, because I don't think you're taking out Yadi or shortstop DeYoung or Ozuna. So,
and Molina sends one to center. Hamilton with plenty of room. He'll make the catch. We head to the bottom of the 8th. 1-0 St. Louis. Game. We're in the bottom of the 8th. The Cardinals with a 1-0 lead. The numbers on Hicks are Chevy called to the pen. Cardinals with some defensive changes. Matt Carpenter is at first base for St. Louis. Jairo Munoz into the ball game at third. Hicks is into the game. He is batting 9th. Munoz batting 5th. Duvall has struck out and also popped out to Daniel Ponce de Leon. The first pitch to him. Popped up. On the infield. DeYoung, one away. It was 116 pitches tonight for Daniel Ponce de Leon. 7 innings, 3 strikeouts, 3 walks. This will be Phillip Ervin. Pinch hitters are 7 for 14 for the Reds. 7 for their last 14. And the first pitch, a ball. Outfield is straight away. Fastball. 1-1. The 1-1 pitch with the slider taken high. The Hyundai pitch arsenal, pretty simple. Fastball that can reach triple digits easily, and when right, a filthy wipeout slider. The 2-1 pitch. 1-0-1 on the gun. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The 2-2 up the middle and a base hit. Past Hicks and into center field, a clean hit. And Phillip Ervin breaks up the no-hitter.
Nice swing down through the zone. You see, found somebody who's ready to hit the fastball tonight. Not going to get surprised by it. 101 mile an hour fastball, and he was ready to go.
Now Billy Hamilton, the tying run at first base. Little chopper left side. Munoz, tough play. They get Hamilton.
What a play right there. You got one shot at that, and one shot only. Came up with that clean and threw it over to first. Watch this play right here. This is all he's got, one shot. Made it look easy. Nice play.
Jose Peraza with a runner at second base. Twice he has flied to right, the other time to left. Cardinals, before this night is through, will still have to go through Joey Votto and Suarez one more time. Something to keep in mind.
And to me, this is the at-bat that scares me the most. I think that Peraza does a really nice job of trying to stay within himself and take whatever the pitcher gives him.
So 2 outs and a runner at second. Fastball taken high at 101. 2 outs, runners in scoring position. Numbers there on Peraza. Ervin, the tying run at second base. The slider in the dirt, 2-0. And a broken back ground ball, gloved by Munoz. Throws a strike to Carpenter. A scoreless frame put up by Jordan Hicks. That sends us to the ninth. Jared Hughes in our Chevy called to the pen. 45th appearance, a record of 1 win, no losses, and a 1.59 ERA. Paul DeYoung will be the batter. He's lined out to right, grounded out to third, and hit one to the track back in the 6th inning. What a fun night here at the ballpark this has been. Bud Norris starts to throw in the Cardinals bullpen. And a strike to DeYoung.
How about our special little visitor in between innings?
One Walt Jocketty.
Nice of him to come over and say hello.
Longtime GM in St. Louis. StatCast powered by AWS. Spray chart for Paul DeYoung. Reds will have Dixon, Votto, and Suarez looking ahead to the bottom of the 9th. What has been an entertaining game. A strikeout there of Paul DeYoung. And we're underway here in the 9th inning.
Nasty sinker right there. Let's watch this ball run. That's one of those pitches that when you know a guy has got a good sinker like that, you almost have to try and take that pitch. That's the pitch you can't really do anything with. And that ball is really too close to take with 2 strikes, but it's kind of the future of hitting is, like I said, knowing what to take and when to take it. You just cannot really do anything with that sinker. Tough pitch.
So 1 out, nobody on for Marcell Ozuna. Fly to center, fly to right, also walked in an 8-pitch at bat back in the 4th. Ozuna rips it foul. The dirt. Well, the post-game show will be must-see TV with Mike Schilt. Get his thoughts on tonight's game one way or another. His decision with Daniel Ponce de Leon. Everybody running around up here in the press box. What do you think? What do you think? The consensus was right decision. But that's the game of baseball. Fun to talk about those decisions.
Yep, you got a pretty good answer out of a pretty good baseball man right up front.
And that's out of play.
Didn't take you very long to get that first one out of the way, did it?
How you doing, Walt? Fine, Dan. How are you?
Would you have taken
Would
him out right there?
He said he was talking with
Buddy Bell,
and they thought it was the right move. I just get right to it, you know.
Hi, how are you? Would you have taken him out? Walt would have been calling down from the in his box, general manager's box. Get him out.
3-2 pitch to Marcell Ozuna. Little chopper hit to third. Suarez. The stretch by Votto. And with 2 outs, Jairo Munoz. I'm really torn with it. You know, I know pitch counts are part of the game, and you know, they tell you this, that, and the other. The eye test was telling you they're starting to catch up a little bit with it, but I don't know. Sometimes you get to that point and you say, until he gives up that first hit. But then I think of it as a, you know, the flip side is long future. He's done a great job.
So many what ifs.
Yep. So we head to the bottom of the ninth. 1-0. Even in the studio wants to argue with me. Al was just presenting the scenarios. But we'll get into it on the post game. It'll be fun. Chevy called to the pen, takes us to Bud Norris. And Norris will have Dixon, Votto, and Suarez. So you have 2, 3, and 4. Dixon will be pinch hit for with Scooter Gennett. So that real big bullet left on the bench, the all-star Gennett. And the first pitch, a strike.
Maybe we can hang around a little bit after the game and go a little one-on-one with you and Al and have a nice little conversation during the post game.
I'm good. They can take it over and break it down. Got to get there first.
That is true.
Here's the 0-1 pitch. And he hits it down the right field line, hooking, and it is foul.
I'll tell you what, this kid has turned himself into some kind of player, hasn't he?
Wow.
Ball's in off the plate. Cutting in. Well, like that ball he hit in the All-Star game. Down and in, it was almost a ball. We'll start pitching him up in the zone.
And the 0-2 pitch, Molina is setting up way outside, and it's down and in.
Not there.
No. Here's a 1-2 pitch. Struck him out. Gennett arguing with the home plate umpire. And it's the first strikeout here in the ninth.
think if you're the umpire, it's Marvin Hudson. You just tell him, you just hit that ball 400 feet, just barely foul. And now you're arguing with me that it's not a strike.
Here's Joey Votto. Couple of walks and a ground out tonight. Seven for 19, a couple of home runs in his career against Bud Norris.
This is interesting here because most closers do not like to throw the ball inside late in the game. So far, that's all he's done. The old story was to make them earn it by hitting the ball the other way. If you're going to give up a homer, got to be to the big part of the ballpark, maybe the opposite field. Don't give them something to pull for a cheap home run. Just challenging guys inside early so far.
The 1-1. 1-2. There is a massive gap in right center field for Joey Votto. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The 2-2 spoiled. Only hit in this game for the Reds. A clean base hit to center with 1 out in the 8th by Phillip Ervin off the bench. Two balls, 2 strikes on one of the elite batters in the game, Joey Votto. Out of play.
That was pretty much right down the middle. I like the Bud Norris goes out there and challenges guys, not messing around. Go after you in the strike zone. He moved the ball around a little bit, but he's not there to walk you. He's there to make you earn your way on, or you're going to have to move on and go to the next guy.
The 2-2 pitch. The other way, Ozuna sliding. Did he come up with it? It is a catch by Marcell Ozuna. What a play in left field. His second sliding, diving catch tonight.
Well, they had him played perfect, Danny. They had Ozuna over. He wasn't super deep. Tell you what, that's as good as a jump as you're going to see on a baseball all year by a line drive hit short in front of you. Great job, Marcell. Now, I heard this a lot this year. That's very similar to the ball that he tried to play earlier in the season, and they got beat by it. That is almost the exact same ball and exact same result.
It's a good
and
point.
He played it the same way. It's either a do or die, and that's why they call it do or die. Either catch it or you don't. If that ball just nicks the ground right in front of him, it might bounce up and get by him. That might be a double, maybe a triple, but that's just the nature of the game. Great job.
Here's Suarez, big numbers against Norris. 3 for 3. And he drives it out to left. And he has tied the game.
What I was talking about earlier. Trying not to get their power hitters to pull the ball up in the air for a home run like that. These guys can hit at this level.
Well, if you're Norris, you got to regroup and do it quickly. And we wait now for Jesse Winker, who puts on some protective gear on his right elbow. Back to the pitch to Suarez at home run number 20.
You can see right here he missed his location and he missed it big.
The Cardinals will have Tommy Pham, Dexter Fowler, and Greg Garcia coming up if we get to the 10th. Raisel Iglesias throwing in their pen. Here's a 1-1. And a base hit into right. The winning run is aboard. And it brings in Tucker Barnhart. The smoke of after the home run still just hovering above the playing surface here at the ballpark.
Not a whole lot of wind tonight.
Norris thought that was a strike. Barnhart twice his fly to left, and he's also walked. And it's a base hit into right, and it almost hit Winker. Somehow he avoided that line drive. That ball hits him. He's out. We're in extra innings. That's 3 consecutive hits allowed by Norris. And Mike Maddox out to visit. The winning run now in scoring position.
Ball goes right over the back.
The Reds, by the way, came into this ball game 1 for their last 19 with runners in scoring position. They had a man at second base in the 8th. That was Irvin after he advanced on a ground out. They couldn't bring him in. Cardinals got the first 2 here in the bottom of the 9th, and then a solo home run hit by Suarez. Winker and Barnhart back-to-back hits, and Adam Duvall. Big numbers against Norris. Bud trying to send us to the 10th. Ball 1.
Always worries me in these games when I see a guy like Norris with a good fastball. And you watch how deep the outfielders are with a guy with a big swing. Just a jam shot is all they need. A little bloop base hit. The outfield being so deep. Scores the run easy with 2 outs. Rather have see it hit the ball off the wall than have a pitcher's pitch go for a base hit.
It is all Norris right now. Nobody up in the Cardinals pen. The 1-1 pitch. Chased a ball, and it's 1-2. The 1-2 pitch. Winker, the winning run at second base. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Fouled back. Suarez, his 20th home run. 72nd RBI, has tied this game at 1. Then back-to-back singles to right field. Winker, Barnhart. Duvall is struck out, popped out twice tonight. Can Norris send us 2 extra innings? The 2-2. Well, you get a running start on this play. Base hit as deep as the Cardinals are playing in the outfield would win it for Cincinnati. Dilson Herrera at the on deck circle. Three balls, two strikes on Adam Duvall. Bases loaded. Dilson Herrera has a home run this year, and that was against the Cardinals, coming off the bench. A 3-run homer in the previous series earlier this month in St. Louis. Now a pass ball, wild pitch can end the game. First pitch lined into center, and the Reds will walk it off. A night that began with so much promise for Ponce de Leon. The potential of history turns into a loss.